my hobby room. Today I'm going to be playing with something you probably have in your house. So I saw this sitting on the table after I'd taken it off of a Kleenex box, and I thought to myself, you know what, that looks really neat. And what I wanted to do with it was put something on it and make some sort of a sentiment on it on the top of a card. It would be great because it would sit, look how nice it would sit up. So if you don't have one of these, or maybe you don't know what I'm talking about, it comes in just any kind of Kleenex box pretty much has these. And if you're very careful when you take them out, and watch, this one won't come out as quite as good. It's very possible. But usually what I do is I pay no attention to the way I take them out because, you know, I'm not going to save them. So this one I'm going to try to save, and it probably won't come out at all. But most of the time they come out pretty nice because people use the boxes. And so now you got this nice little oval that has, by the way, these little wings on it. And these wings are what I think, if I glue them down, it'll actually sit up off the top of the card. And I'm kind of excited to give it a try. So I got out this set of paper from 49th and Market. I think this was a freebie from scrapbook.com. I really like it. I just haven't used it. I haven't used it. It's a vintage artistry, colors, and sky, I think it says. It's hard to read what it says right there, if you can read it. But it's got some pretty neat... It's a neat little pack. It looks like a lot of mixed media. I like that kind of thing. I like to do it myself, but this one's already done for you. It looks like, you know, looks like you already have put something on there and you put some white paste or something over it. I mean, you got some color going on. It's a really, really neat looking, it's like all the work without any of it, which is both fun and, you know, I feel a little funny about that. So here's one of the pages that they give you. This one page that I'm looking at, it looked like this. I tried taking this out. I thought this might fit on here. And then I thought, hey, I'll turn on my camera and bring you along while I try to see what to do with this. I like this a lot, but it's very small. You notice this is kind of big. I kind of think this might look neat. I might want to give that a try. So what I plan on doing is taking out something bigger, putting it on there and cutting around it, kind of maybe even filing it down if it was very light. And then, ooh, that's not a bad idea either, to use a very thin paper and file it down. And then maybe put something on it, you know, maybe a little bit of flowers or something that I already have made, but we'll see how it goes. So let me first get these cut down. So I'm going to cut these down. These are the two papers that I chose. And I'm going to cut these down to, I don't think, this is 6 by 6. I think I'm going to try to make these a regular 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card front. So I'll take a 1/4 inch off of each one of those sides, and that'll make it 4 inches by 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut that down, and I'll be right back with those fronts. All right, so I got some things together I thought would work, and we'll see how they go. I was thinking about using a very thankful, having one of these flowers that I made before and having that come out of it or around it or something like that. I've got some other things that I brought over. I did make some various sized butterflies that I made out of punches that I have. I bought these all in a de-stash of someone on eBay. And I think, I'm not sure, but I think that it was like the son trying to sell it after the mother maybe passed away or something, because he didn't seem to know anything about it, and he kind of put them in a very flimsy box, and half of them were broke by the time they got to me. But it was really a great deal, so I was okay with it overall. But it was kind of one of those things that, you know, you just don't forget. But I got a lot of them in there that did end up working, but some of them just don't work very well, or some of them really broke badly. It was, the box came to me with a hole in it, and I mean, it was just not very, he did not realize how heavy. That's why I don't believe it was someone who crafts, because they did not realize how heavy the you know, the punches are. They're just very heavy, and he put them loose. He didn't make them, you know, where they would be very compact, and so they were banging around all over the place, and you know, I'm sure that's what created the hole and eventually broke some of them. A lot of the casings, not a lot, a couple of the casings were broke completely. So I like this little tag a little bit. I'm thinking about using that. So what I'm trying to do is make a little cluster. That's the idea. So if I make a cluster on here and around here with some of the items, I think it might look kind of unique, and we might have a little, I don't know, something a little bit different that we can use for a card front. But I'm not positive yet how I want to do it. I'm still kind of, you know, I'm experimenting. So I don't know if you do that or not, but I do a lot of experimenting when I'm trying to figure out what it is I want to do. I bring out a lot of different things. I do have these. Now, these are obviously, these are from winter, but some of these blues look really close to this, and I think I can use like this little blue, or maybe there's a plaid in here that looks close to the right color that looks like it matches. So that might be really good on here, and we could even attach it to this top after I get done with it. With this, you know, might look really kind of cute to have that there, and then put the "So Very Thankful" across the bottom. I'm just playing with things, trying to get an idea of what I want to do. I'm not really sure at this point. I did look through some of my items. For some reason, I'm really short on this color blue. I don't know why. I have a lot of different colors. I have a lot of reds and oranges, and I like blue. It's not like I don't like blue. I just don't understand why I don't have more of this color blue. So I guess I know what I'll start doing that, and then all I have is blue. I went through even like some stamps I made and things like that, and different little ephemera that I made, and there's just nothing this color blue. I did come across a few things that were kind of a teal color, you know, more teal, more kind of a greeny, you know, color to it, but not this kind of and this has a little bit of that in there, but not quite the same color. So I was going to try to stick with the blue. So let's get this covered first, and I'm going to try this. We'll see how it goes, because I really don't know what else I would do with this. It's a very interesting, and I've got two others, so that helps me, by the way, because I'm really bad at using something if I think it's the last one, and I really like it, and I think there's some better use for it somewhere, even if it's really not true, only in my head. But I think what we'll do here is I'll just lightly cut this out. I mean, I'm not going to be, because I'm hoping, let's see where it goes. I'm hoping I can get it around here. Let's see. And that it will sit on here. Yeah, I think it will. All right, let's glue this down, because I do like this. Is there something I kind of want to make sure this part is in there, since it's, if I can, I could put it a little bit on an angle. I'm not sure if I want it to go all the way, like put it on flat. It's not a bad idea. Put it on completely flat, but see, I want to use these underneath. And you'll notice this is very shiny. I'm not sure why they did that, but that would be a hard time sticking. But this is good. This will be good, and I still think it'll pop it up. That's what I'm hoping for. So if I do all this and that doesn't happen, I'm going to pretend like it was great anyway and it worked out. But I'm going to tell you now, I'm just kidding. I won't do that. I will be disappointed, though, if it doesn't stick up a little bit and give it a little bit of, what do I want to say here? A little bit of height. That's what I want to say. If it's a little bit, if it doesn't give it a little bit of height, I'm going to be a little disappointed. Not a lot disappointed because, I mean, you know, trying something out. At least I'm trying something out. Sometimes I think that that's kind of the thing right there. At least I'm trying something out, right? I'm trying to do something different, and that should count for something. So now I'm going to cut around this. And I think I am going to leave this. I'm going to cut past it and see how, you know, if this is a mistake, it's a mistake, and I will learn from that mistake. I have a second one here. And the whole reason I have a second one is because I wanted to make sure I had options. So if I do find out something is a good or a bad idea, the second one doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to anyway. I like making things different if I can. Or, you know, unless I really like the way the first one comes out so well that I don't want to. Oh yeah, I think that's pretty good. So we're definitely going to go around this with something that's a little darker. What color would you suggest? If you were doing it, what color would you want to put around it to give it a little, I think we should probably do tea dye, because it's not too dark. It's not vintage photo. It's got a little bit of a red to it. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's got a little bit of a red to it. It's not vintage photo, but it's got a, I like the color of it. It's got a good color to it. I'm late to the party. I'm sure tea dye was the first one that everyone really liked. And then they all liked, it seems, when you watch people anyway, then everyone liked vintage photo, and vintage photos, I'm along with them. I've done a lot of vintage photo. But I bet tea dye was the first one, and then it went to vintage photo, and now everybody seems to like the new one, right? Everyone's into scorched timber because it's even darker. I know a lot of people like walnut stain. I always thought that was a little dark, but I think this goes good with this. So I want to put this, and this is propped up a little bit already. And now I've got a little thing going on over here. Hang on. From where I didn't cut it quite as good as I should have. All right, that's okay. I got the right here. Look at that, fixed. All fixed. So let's concentrate on this one, because that one has a little bit of a different look to it. But so if I put this down here, let's put it on the side, because then you can see this. I kind of like that idea. And this idea, and maybe, do I want to do something like this underneath it? Across the bottom? Let's do that. And I'm going to use, this is kind of a real, it's kind of a gray, I'm not sure if I'm getting the right color here. I tell you, that's not the right one. I think I'm going to try Lost Shadow on it, which is the lightest gray there is, practically. I think I'm going to try that on it and see how it looks. It's light blue. I think I've used this for both of these, so we'll see. It might have some blue in it, which won't be bad, but I'm going around this because when I cut it, I don't cut very perfect. And I mean, you know, I don't think anyone cuts perfect. But it's nice then to have this to fall back on because it'll kind of correct. It's like a fixer-upper for your messed up area there. Okay, so we're gonna put that on there. I'll attach that, and then we'll go on to, so I want to go around this as well. I don't want this to be, I think we're going to go around it with the, probably could have gone around it with the blue, but I think with the big blue flower, I think that'll be fine. Yeah, that's cute. It's got the flower. It's got the same kind of flower that's there. That's kind of that scribbly-like looking flower. So I think that's kind of cute. I'll put this guy going here. And we'll see how my guys hold down. If I'm correct that it'll be a little bit of a elevation on it. And then I'll put this down here. And maybe I'll go around the outside after I get done with the gray as well. I like this gray. I think that's a good plan. It just makes the blue stand out a little bit more. I think it's okay with the brown because it's already in here. But I might have regretted that. I might already be thinking, hey, you know what? That would have been probably pretty nice to have put gray instead of the brown. But I like the brown on it. I think it helps it pop. Brown, the gray, you know, you see a little bit of brown in here, so it's not like that's an unusual thing. And then we'll turn this over and cut this. I have to say, this is really thick paper. It's like, it definitely could make postcards out of this, which might be a nice thing to do. I saw online on YouTube, I saw Gina K making the postcards out of her new kit and thought, hey, that looks like fun. I might be wanting to do that as well. All right, so this already has some of these on. I'm going to pop them up. And then that way, when you tuck the things around it too, that helps. But there's a good little group of foam tape here. I'm going to try doing all this first. I might regret this too. I might be thinking in a little bit, you know what you should have done? You should have put this down. I don't know. I don't think so. I think we got to do this first. And let's do it like that. I think like that would be cute. And I'm just going to put it right on there because there we go. And then what I was thinking was this little, where'd this little guy go? He was the cutest of all of them. I was thinking about putting this little guy right on here. I think he would look cute there. And then I was going to cut one of these out. I'm going to pick all these up later. It's not the straightest I've ever done this. It's a shock. If you've watched me for any length of time, you know that I usually have to do it 2 or 3 times in order to get it right, or at least close to right. Okay, if that's much better. The longer ones really help. I think we're going to put this underneath here like that. I think I'm going to like that. You can definitely read what it says, and what But I think that white, let's get that white. Let's get some gray on there, completely on there. So it's more like it's gray. And I'm thinking that that might be, we'll go around it, but then it'll kind of be, if you go around it enough, it'll kind of go, it'll meet in the middle. So one thing I like about making the sentiments on white is because you can kind of, you know, make it whatever you want then. Tame down that white a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Right there. Okay. Let's... And I know if you want to subscribe to the 3 thing, we could put... it clogged up in that little bit of time. Sometimes it does. And sometimes I leave it a little bit too long. Got a whole pack of these over there to unclog them. Seems like a thing you gotta have so you can unclog them if you need to. So I want the thankful down here where you can read it, but it doesn't have to be like right on top, you know? So I'm just gonna bend his little, I'm gonna put some of this around the outside of this too. Just don't like when you see that stark white on the sides. Usually when I do this, I do end up doing something like this, but we can just glue it on the base of the, where the body would be. Then it tends to stick up pretty good. So I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. Just let it sit there and go. And then we're going to put this down, and then we'll go around the outside. Actually, let's go around the outside first with this gray. I wish you knew how heavy this cardstock is. I am really surprised by this, because usually, a lot of times the little packs like this are not. This is very substantial cardstock. I don't know why I'm so surprised by this, but I am. Got Lost Shadow again, and I have a little bit of light blue on here already. So there we go. Let's give this a try. Now, this might have been a better idea to have used the double-sided tape, but now I'm committed, so we'll see. My idea was to, if I did it like this, because it's sticking up that little bit, I'm going to put something on it to hold it down, that it would, you know, it would hold it pretty good, and it would hold it down, but it would stick it up just that little bit off. And we'll see if that works. If that works, we'll do another one. But if not, then I'll try something else. Be back in a little bit with another plan for the second one here. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe we should put some, I'm going to put some more stuff on this. It's got to sit and dry though, so we'll be back. Okay, so here's what I ended up with. I put some of these, I made these cute little embellishments over here. They're going to go on something else. This was the one of the butterflies that came from this the paper pack and I cut them out. So here's what the sheet looked like, and I cut them out. They're very difficult to cut because this is very thick paper, much thicker than you would think. At least much thicker than I thought. So here's one of them. I really like the way it came out. I have this cute little I did cut around it and then put some ink on it. So I can't remember what these things are called. They go along the side. But you can see them. I think this came out pretty cute. I think it's a very different look. But using that Kleenex top, I could just see all kinds of things. If you had a bunch of flowers and you could put things between them. I mean, I was thinking about it. I was like, wow, you got that space there. If you look, there's a space there and you can use that space. And I hadn't really thought of that before. And so now when I get some more, I might try that. Maybe putting it in the middle and use it almost like a belly band. It's all ready there to go around something and enclose it. So I'll be looking for things forward. Maybe if you have one and you take a look at it and you find a way to use it that is different, you can let me know how you used it. But overall, I think it came out pretty good. And it does have some height to it. And I think it looks kind of neat. It's very substantial. It's very sturdy. And I will be looking for other ways to use it. So maybe I'll have some more in the future. So the second one, I used the little clipboard. I cut out the clip thing on the top. And I did all this work to cut it out. And then I added some bees. These are some of the rub-ons from the Dollar Tree rub-on because I thought that'd be kind of fun to have bees instead of some sort of, for embellishments, instead of having, you know, gems or something like that. I just thought the bees would be cute. And I gave them some blue wings and yellow bodies, and I thought they look pretty nice. So these are the two card fronts, and I think that I'll be probably doing something else with these and trying them out as time goes on. I hope you enjoyed this look at using something that you have in your house, and I hope that you will keep crafting. And dance by the light of the moon.